Welcome to How to Do a Literature Review, the demonstration module. I'm going to show you a couple of functions using some tools that should help you streamline conducting your literature review. We've talked about developing a list of questions that are going to drive your review in the previous module. We talked about conducting a quick search. I'm going to do the search using Medline Ovid as a search engine, and I'm going to use EndNote as a reference manager, not because I have a financial interest in that product, but just because it's available to me through my position as a faculty member, and I'm familiar with using it. You can also, and I'll show you some other citation managers to use in addition to this one. Let's go to our institutions library. So the first thing that I want to show you when you're using Medline Ovid is to start with just broad keyword searches and see what we find. So let's try healthcare disparities, diabetes. We find 462 citations when we use these broad searches. We can limit from the last 10 years or so. A lot of times I'll limit to 10 years and see if that knocks off a few. Only knocked off one. We can also limit to full text, and that knocked off quite a few. So we have 175 articles. So we can continue to limit, or we can read all of the 462 or read all of the 107. Another way to limit is by author, and you would type in an author's name, and you can display if you know somebody has done research in this area. So that's another way to limit your search. Start broad keyword searches, narrow by combinations of terms, but this here shows you your search history. And when I said earlier, I keep my search history, you can usually save it through these types of products within the library system itself, or you can retype this history into the Word document so you have it in one place for later. So we're going to go through down here. We're going to go back to our 175 and display that. And these are the articles that pertain to healthcare disparities. And by clicking the articles, we're going to, again, search based on title, and we're going to search based on possibly authors that we know are experts in this area, and we are going to import a few of these citations. So by selecting some of them based on these are the ones that seem to fit the best, we're going to click on export. Now when you get to export, you can export directly to Word. I've never done that before, but looks like PDFs, Excel. Now you get into some of the other products here that work with this search engine. So that's an indicator of how you can narrow what product you may or may not want to use. I'm going to select EndNote. I'm going to select Complete Reference, and I'll tell you why in a second. And then I'm going to export. I'm going to open my database, and now I have the few citations that I've selected. So you can click Find Full Text after you've highlighted the articles, and it will search the internet for full text and link those full text articles to your database if they're available. You can also change the way in which you view. I have references only, but I might want to split, see it this way, or I might want to have the preview, or I might want to let's see some of these other. So there's lots of different preview styles. I happen to like just the references because it gives you a little bit, it's just a cleaner view. You can also change the order in which you see these categories, headings here. So now let's click on one of the citations. What's interesting here is that you'll receive the authors, you'll receive the year, the title, volume, pages, etc. But if you're having a hard time finding articles to include to create your justification in your literature review, then there's a section in each. If you find an article that fits really well, look at the keywords and how they categorized their article. So again, this is why we keep our search terms, and this is maybe why we look at how other articles are categorized, because there might be terms that we're not thinking about using, and we can go ahead and search using these keyword searches. And then it'll give you all the information in your link to your full text, etc. So if the next step is to insert our EndNote library back into our Word document that contains the search history, the questions, and the annotated bibliography, how you do that is as follows. So we pulled up our Word document that's titled, dated, has our combination of terms, has our questions, and we are going to, when you install Word, under Tools, it adds a toolbox or functions. So I've already highlighted the citations I want to import, and I selected Insert Selected Citations. This is already formatted in an annotated bibliography, but I can change the format by going to the shortcut. So if we want to do numbered, it'll number them. If we want to do, there's so many different styles. You can go to select another style and find the Annals of Family Medicine, or find JAMA, or so forth. So there are so many different versions here. Another way to get at the same shortcut menu is to go to Configure Bibliography. And here I would choose Annotated and OK. And it'll reformat it back into my annotated bibliography. Once I have this, my library completely imported back into my Word document, then I can go into that next stage of reading all of my articles and reading them with my questions in mind, and putting notations in the margins of whether A, I want to, if there's certain questions that I think are going to be answered, or B, pull full text, or C, I'm going to put a big X through the citation because it doesn't fit at all, and I'm just going to eliminate it. So the next big thing on your list to do is to read and take notes, read your full text and take notes. And again, I talked about finding some electronic system that allows you to sort. And you want to sort by your author, possibly you want to sort by your question number, so you can review all of question 1 in context and take notes. You can review all of question 2 of all of your notes, and you might find patterns and themes that emerge out of just reviewing all of your citations by having the ability to sort the information. And then again, you have your summary slide that helps with the aha moment of, this is where we need to start our project. Again, this is just one way to do a literature review, but it provides you with 2 documents. You're using tools that work for you. So I hope that the couple of quick demonstrations are helpful to you. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I'm happy to help. So thank you and have a good day.